Hello and welcome to the Book Spot. The Book Spot is a place where people get their books written, folks. Well, welcome to the Book Spot. I am Joseph McCrae. I'm an author, and I come to you every first and third Monday at 7:30 to talk about writing. And tonight we have an exciting topic. Tonight we're going to talk about hindrances to writing. Hindrances, and some really great information we're going to share tonight. And so the night's talk is hindrances to writing. What gets in the way? And we get a definition for hindrances. It's a thing that provides resistance, delay, or obstruction to something or someone. And that's what can happen with your writing. So I grabbed this great article from Writers Aglow, writersaglow.com. You can go look on their website. And they did an interesting article about hindrances. Okay. What gets in the way of your writing? And one of those is unbelief. Unbelief. And what they said was, you do not even believe that you can do it. You don't feel like you're good enough or smart enough. And in each one of these hindrances, I'm going to talk to you about how you get over it. How you get over it. Well, for this one here, unbelief, you just have to believe in yourself. You just have to say to yourself, self, I am good enough. I am smart enough. I can write a book. There's nothing that's too hard for me to do. And just step on out there and make it happen. You have to do some talk therapy because a lot of things are coming to you and you're saying, I can't do that. Everybody who does that is, really big and really, great and awesome. But they weren't always like that. They had to start too, you know. They had to uh, put the pen to the paper and perfect their gift, perfect their talent. And so let's get rid of unbelief. Let's get rid of unbelief by starting to believe in yourself, starting to tell yourself, yes, I am good enough. Yes, I am smart enough. Yes, I have the ability to write a book. Here's a big one, the fear of failure. This is huge. This is huge. People fear failure. Like, what if I don't get it right? What if what if I fail? Well, you know what? My Pastor Kenneth Robinson, he says, what if you succeed? What if you succeed? What if you do very well? I tell you, when I started out with writing, I got good evening. How are you? How are you, Diane? When I started out with writing, I never had any idea where it would take me. It was just a compassion. It was just the compassion, the wanting to tell the story about a wonderful woman, my mother. And I had no idea like that I would get so stirred up to want to write and write and write and write. And that's what happened, folks. And the more I wrote books, the more doors opened for me, the more opportunities opened for me, the more places I got to share the things that were on the inside of me because I got past the fear. And I want to tell you, I was pretty afraid. I was pretty afraid. I was stepping out there and it was deep water, it was cold water. But I remembered my mother who would always say, push on. That's the title of the book, Push On. She would just say, press, just do it. She was one of the most motivating persons I could ever have had the opportunity to know. And she would say that. And so I titled that book right after her, Pushing On, Wonderful Stories About Josephine Joy. And so you have to get past the fear of failure. And the way you get past it is say, what if I succeed? You can reverse it, turn it around. What if I succeed? What if I do well? What if some doors open for me that never opened before? What if some speaking engagement? What if a revenue stream starts for me? That's what you have to say to yourself. Okay. And I got a comment here. Uh, it says, you have the right to fail as you have the right to succeed. Yes, yes, Diane. You have the right to fail as you have the right to succeed. It all comes down to what kind of work are you going to put into it? What kind of work are you going to put? Are you going to stay down because you fell down, or are you going to pick yourself up and keep on moving? Keep on moving. And Dr. YT says, good evening. Glad to get on board. Yes, glad to have you. Glad to have you. So we're getting into some more of some hindrances, things that resist or oppose you when you want to write, when you want to get your writing done. And here's one, ignorance. Sometimes there's ignorance, and this ignorance is because you don't know how to go about writing. You're in a place where you don't really know where to go, like how to get started, how to set your goals, how to get disciplined. Now, there are books out there that will guide you into how you get started and how you start setting your goals. But one of the basic things of how you get started with your writing, you pull out a pen and a pad and you start writing. You just start writing down, putting it down. And that's how I start. I just start writing little notes, getting a little pad out, just writing little stories about my mother. And before you know it, I put them all together. I got other people's stories, and I had a book. So there are books out there to help you with goal setting, being disciplined, the whole art of writing. Writing is an art. It's an art form. Okay. I mean, it's your expression. It's your mental release to the world of what you're thinking about, what you find dear, what you're passionate about. And the world gets an opportunity to share your thoughts, to be able to be a part of your mind and the way you think about life, or the mysteries that you have. That's what happens when you write a book. You get to share your mind with the world. It's an awesome thing. I mean, can you imagine, like, people who are standing around you, they really can't know what you're thinking till you put it in some kind of tangible form. And they'll be blown away like, wow, man, you got all this experience, you got all this knowledge. Woo! We can't wait to have you come and speak. Can't wait to have you come and share. It's amazing what's on the inside of people, folks. It's amazing the experience, the ideas, the thoughts, the information, the knowledge that's on the inside of people. And when they release it and put it in a tangible product like a book, I mean, it answers questions, it meets needs, it fulfills things that people have been longing to know. It brings peace, calmness, okay? It brings joy, excitement, okay? It helps you to navigate life. Somebody else's experience helps you to navigate life a little different, because you realize, if I go left like they went left, this won't come out right. So you guess what? You don't go left. If I hang over here and do this, this person had a pretty bad experience with that. I better go over this way. Or if I go up here and fulfill this, then I will get the kind of results that maybe that person got. It gives you an idea of like, it gives you like a, like a trail to follow. It gives you an opportunity to follow in someone else's footsteps. Okay, that's what books do. That's what they do. That's why you gotta write one. That's why you have to write one, because they leave a trail. They leave a trail. They help individuals to get on the right path and do the right things from your experience. I'm an addictions treatment nurse. And I know before I leave this field of addiction treatment, I'm going to have to write some nuggets, some things I've learned over the course of being an addiction treatment nurse. Because the next generation that comes along, they're not going to know these things. And I don't want them to be taken advantage of because they don't have the wisdom and how to deal with someone with addiction, how to deal with that spirit that's cunning and baffling, that's insidious and powerful. But if they have some nuggets, they have like a little workbook that they can work with, then they can have peace and they can have calm, and they won't make the mistakes because someone left them a roadmap, someone left them some tips, someone left them a guide. Okay. So getting back to hindrances. So sometimes there's busyness, busy, over here, over there, over here, just doing so many things. But all I can say to that is doing a lot of stuff, but no progress. No progress. Folks, it's not the greatest thing to say, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I had this, and oh, I had that. Well, are you making any progress? Okay. Are you making any progress? Do you see accomplishments? Do you see fruit? Have you bared any fruit from all this that you're doing? Or are you just busy? You just doing things. But be progressive. Have some results behind your busyness. And when it comes to writing, we want to see you produce. We want to see the production, okay? Not you just busy over here and busy over there. You don't have time. Well, make some time. We make time. We prioritize all the time in our lives, okay? So make some time. Look at your schedule and get out of this being busy, but get into being productive. Being productive, getting something accomplished, okay? Getting your book accomplished, getting a chapter accomplished. Let's do that. Let's work on that, okay? What else I got for you? Oh, this is exciting. Procrastination. Oh, Lord. Why did he have to say that? Procrastination, folks. Putting off, finding an excuse, not getting it done. And the way you overcome procrastination is getting an accountability partner. You can get that through a writing group. You get that with a writing class. Somebody who's also doing what you're doing and who can check in and say, how is it coming? When are you completing your book? When people talk to me about writing a book, the first question I ask them, when are you planning to complete it? When is the book to be finished? The next question might be the title, but the biggest question on my mind is, when are you completing it? When is it to be done? Because if you have no idea when you're going to complete your book, it tells me your goals need to be fine-tuned, okay? You need to really get a good sense of how you're working and what are you accomplishing, okay? So when it comes to procrastination, we all do it. Getting an accountability partner, okay? Being a part of a writing group. You have the Merlin, the Maryland Writers Association. You have the Black Writers Guild. You have the Hampton Writers Group. It's all over. I mean, Baltimore is a big town for arts and all, and we consider writing and art. We have the Baltimore Book Festival in October. You got to get someone who's doing what you're doing, who understands and appreciates writing, who can sort of be your accountability person. Hey, what's happening? How your chapters coming along? Are you ready to get it edited? Someone who can check in with you, who can touch base with you, who can hold you accountable. Okay. And so we've been talking about hindrances to writing. We've been talking. I got this from writersofglow.com. Right online. They just shared it. All I'm doing is just expounding on it. Uh, One of the things they talked about, they define. Well, I looked up what hindrances is anything that provides resistance, delay, or obstruction to something or someone. Okay. And I don't want you to have any hindrances. No hindrances. No, I'm having a terrible time with that word. Hindrances. No hindrances. I don't want you to have that. I want you not to have unbelief. I want you to believe in yourself that you can do it. You can write a book. You're just as good as the next person. Ain't no one better than you. That you don't fear failure. That you don't have the fear of failure because you can also believe that you will succeed. Okay? It's all what you're saying to yourself. What are you saying to yourself? What are you speaking over yourself? And don't be ignorant another day. Grab a book on getting started with writing, how to set goals, how to discipline yourself. I did it. When I started writing, I grabbed all kind of books on writing, how to write nonfiction, uh, how to begin as a writer. I grabbed all those books, and it helped me, helped guide me. I got a couple little nuggets from each one of them, and then get out of this busyness, get out of just busy, 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 doing this, doing this, but not producing anything. Okay, produce something, bear some fruit. Let us be able to see, wow, you really accomplished something. Just busy. Anybody can just be busy, but let's be productive when it comes to writing. Let's get something accomplished. Let's get your chapters written. Get your story to flow. Let's get your book ready to get edited. Okay, you just don't want to waste time. And biggest thing, don't procrastinate another day. Don't you procrastinate one more day. Oh, I'm gonna get it. Oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna work on it this weekend. Write it down, put it up on the wall. You can see it. Get yourself an accountability partner, someone who will call you. Hey, what's happening? You still working on your book? Get yourself a part of a writers group where you're around eagles so you can learn that they're doing just like you're doing. They're working at their books too, right? You talking to people that ain't even writing a book. So how can they hold you accountable? They could probably care less about you writing a book. So get around people who are writing a book also. Get around a club, a group of people who are in the same vein as you are so that you all can each other, push each other to success. So as you get to the top, they coming right behind you. That's what you got to do. I've seen it. I've been with the Black Writers Guild maybe about 9 years, 8 years. It's been awesome to rub shoulders with greats. I mean, people that then sold thousands of books, then raked in thousands of dollars, listening to them, talking to them, hearing their story, and realize, you know what? I could do that. I could do that. And I'm out here doing it. But I'm not selfish. I'm not like always, I got mine. You got to go get yours. No, I don't mind. I don't mind sharing. I don't mind doing the book spot. I don't mind doing the book spot and sharing what I've learned to encourage you to do what you need to do. Doesn't bother me. I want you to get that book written. And I want to also tell you that there's a workshop coming up in April. I'm going to give a workshop on get that book written. It's simple, straight to the point. It's called Get That Book Written Workshop. And I just give some tips on how to get your book written. All right. I want to thank you. And there's a question or comment. I'm here for a few minutes. Definitely type that in. Let me know if there's a question or comment. I'd love to be able to help and answer that for you. Yes, yes, yes. Book writing, book writing. People are doing it, folks. People are putting out books like mad, and people are reading books. I was just listening. I was just at a workshop, and they were sharing that during COVID, people have tore up some books. I mean, that downtime caused people to read and read and read. I mean, they're reading them. They're reading them. And guess what? You got to write one so they can read yours. They're reading them, but they can't read it until you write it. So you got to write yours. So the folks that are into that groove of reading will pick up your book, will be enlightened, will be blessed, will be encouraged, will be inspired, will be moved, motivated, will be shocked, will fall in love, I don't know what you're writing, but believe me, there's an audience out there for it. And don't let this moment pass you by. Don't let this moment pass you by. Don't look back and say, you know what, that was a guy that used to be on Facebook and YouTube. He was always talking about get that book written, get that book written. He was talking to you. He was talking to you. You was watching this. He was talking to you. He was saying, you get that book written. That's what he's been doing. So, thank you all for tuning in to the book spot. Again, next time I get on here, I'm going to have a guest. I'm going to have Miss Danielle Gittens, who's going to be here to talk about her book. We're going to have an awesome time. Look forward to having her as a guest on the book spot. That's the third Monday at 7:30. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you all. All right.